Hey guys, it's Gator, coach of the Florida Gators. That has a weird sound to it. Bringing you my GBA Season 7 draft analysis thing. Speaking of coach of the Florida Gators, I just want to explain something real quick. You also gotta excuse me, like, I'm still a little congested. I don't know, like, I've just been taking medicine just day in, day out. No overdose, of course. But it's just that, I don't know, like, my throat's slightly irritated, like, very slightly. My nose is slightly congested to where it feels like you just want to just let it out everywhere. But anyway, yeah, speaking of Florida Gators, I saw this tweet, like, a couple days ago on my timeline that ended up there or something. There we go. It says, can I copy your homework? Yeah, I just changed it a little bit. Standard dot meme, right? And then there's like Florida for alligators here, and then there's me, Florida Gators. So I did some research. I didn't know who this person was. And I found out it was actually Top Tier Boy. This is a person that I am familiar, like I know who he is at least. I don't think I've talked to him before, but I know of him. And I just want to like apologize slightly. I didn't like try and steal your name or anything. Even though I don't think it was him who made the tweet, so he probably doesn't give a shit. But I don't know, I just felt bad a little bit. My name is itzGator literally because of the Florida Gators. Like, I'm from Florida, and when I made my name, this is the college I wanted to go to, was University of Florida. So, and when I joined the GBA, they told me I had to pick a team name that was after an actual team, and the one that I was gonna go with, Tokyo Tyrannotars, doesn't actually come from an actual team. So I just wanted the Florida Gators instead because my name is Gator. Yeah, not because of for alligator. Well, I guess now somewhat because of for alligator, because it's Florida for Florida Gators without the O. I don't know what's going on. Anyway, forget it. We're here for draft analysis. We're not here for team name analysis. Now, this is like my first draft thingy majigger. I was gonna do the NPL with Joey, but he ended up getting really busy, and I really want to do a league with friends, and so I decided to join the GBA instead. So this isn't my first time like drafting, but it's gonna be my first time like competing in an actual league. So we'll see how it goes. First pick, Shadow game, drop Draco, Latios, just damage, just raw damage, just pure power and destruction. It's just a Pokemon I'm really comfortable and familiar with. I used it a lot last gen, and it does what it does very well, which is like everything. It does like almost everything. Like this typing is really unique. Look at all those resistances. Of course, with Levitate, the ground attacks no problem. 130 special attack off the charts, 110 speed is very nice, and 110 speed def I also like, especially with the dragon typing, like taking elemental attacks from the special slide like flamethrower or giga drain or thunderbolt or whatever. Scald is good. It's able to do that pretty well, and 90 attacks passable. Like Latios can do everything. It can hit hard right out the bat. It can set up potentially. It has great utility with stuff like defog, memento. Has access to stuff like rain dance, sunny day. If it wants to change up the weather for some reason, even sandstorm. Of course, it has roost for more longevity. I also made it my Z eligible Pokemon. In the GBA, you're allowed one Pokemon that can use Z moves, and I chose Latios just because of that utility and that great coverage it has. It has stuff like electric coverage. It has, of course, we can buff up our dragon attacks even more. It has ground coverage, water coverage, psychic, ice, electric. I already said that. Just everything. Like everything. It gets ghost, it gets steel, it gets solar beam, grass, do whatever you want. Because Z Memento can do literally like whatever you want with this mon. It's so versatile and just obnoxiously strong right off the bat, just because it also has that threat of just Draco or like whatever, just strong ass base power moves. So yeah, Latios first pick, Pokemon I'm very familiar with, and being my first like league thing, I wanted to have Pokemon on my team that I am familiar with. Second, I'm going with Heatran. When I was watching the drafting, like some people were saying like being very weak to stuff is not good, like having a 4 times weakness in draft format, just because like they can abuse that more easily, which I can understand where they're coming from. But at the same time, like nothing does what Heatran does in my opinion, and it pairs up so well with Latios. It's another 130 special attacker, just as strong as Latios pretty much, and I feel like it has just the same amount as utility as well. Latios is a great defogger, where Heatran's a great stealth rocker. And their typing goes really well together. Like this thing's weak to fighting, water, and ground, and this thing resists fighting and water, and it's immune to ground with Levitate. So I feel like their typing goes really well. And of course, this 4 times resist fairy. This is like a fairy killer, and it doesn't have to worry about rocks being a fire type. So I feel like there's nothing that does like what Heatran does. Being able to set up the rocks, that unique typing, great utility, stuff like taunt, roar, trapping capabilities, and magma storm. Just draw raw damage with like fire blast and stuff like that. It's a good mon. Like yeah, it has a 4 times weakness to ground, but Like you can patch it out if I wanted to use like Balloon or something like that. And hey, 90 attack. And Latios got 90 attack. I mean, you never know. Iron Head, just flame charge, physical Heatran. It could be a thing. Does it get flare? I don't think it gets flare blades. Yeah, but get explosion. That's all I need is explosion. That's literally it. Bandit explosion. It's time. But yeah, just another solid mon that's strong, great utility, less speed than Latios, but kind of functions like they do like kind of the same thing where they hit really hard. They can take hits particularly well just because of their typing, and they have really good utility options. So next, I had to pick your boy. You knew it was coming. I had to go with the King Mamoswine. I had to do it. I had to pick. Like, this is my baby. This is just my baby right here. This is my baby right there. 130 attack. It's not playing around. 110 HP is very, very nice. Thick Fat is also great for helping take like ice attacks and stuff. And Oblivious is cool, so I can't get taunted. So it has good abilities. Ridiculous monster attack. HP is awesome. Just fat, thick. Yo, look at him. It's disgusting. But yeah, it's kind of just another good rocker. I'm not saying I'm gonna bring Adamant Life Orb every single week now. There's a couple other things it can do, but yeah, freeze dry is cool. Ground plus ice coverage is just great. It's amazing. Knockoff's cool. It has a couple extra coverage moves like knockoff, superpower, stone edge, so it can get it in there if it needs to. It can hit stuff. It does what it does really well, and that just fucks shit up. So good, just good. And of course it's my baby, so I had to pick him. Next, I want to look at Galvantula. This is a Pokemon I don't use that often. But like electric types are going really fast. I think by this time Zapdos was gone, both the Thunderous forms, Tapu Koko, Xurkitree, I even think Raikou was gone. So, and I've been hearing that electric types are pretty valuable, or fast electric types in League format. So I wanted to pick one up. And this one not only is fast naturally, but also has access to Sticky Web. And Sticky Web goes pretty well when you have somewhat slower hard hitters like Heatran and Mamoswine. There's not that many Pokemon that get this. So also by picking this, it just denies other people from being able to do it. Because I got to remember that, like in the League format, only one person has Landorus or Skarmory or freaking Tapu Koko or Fini or whatever, and only one person can have Galvantula. Now there's other web users, but like, what is this garbage? The rest of these are pretty much garbage. Like Shuckle, I guess, is okay, and I guess Smeargle's okay, but like no one's using the rest of this trash. If you want to, you can knock yourself out. But I think I picked up like the best webs user by far, and it's also a great pivot. And 97 special attacks okay combined with Compound Ice Thunder, so that's acceptable. It can hit decent. Volt Switch of course is nice, and of course those webs are cool. So I think it's an okay pick. And I don't want to put myself in a situation where I'm reliant on these webs, but just to have the option there, I think it's gonna be pretty nice. So fifth pick, this is my fifth pick. I had to get your boy. I had to get me, the spirit animal Pyukumuku in your guts. I had to do it. I just had to do it. I've just been hyping this Pokemon up like non-stop since Gen 7's out. I think it's amazing. Maybe not as much in draft just because like it can't attack. So if they know it's on my team, they can just taunt or bring taunt on something. But we're gonna ignore that fact. I maybe could have taken this later because it might have not been in other people's priority list, but I really wanted this mon on my team just because like it's the mascot, it's the boy, it's the homie Pyukumuku. So we took it round 5. Ignoring the whole taunt thing, 130 defense and def is great, and the 5 speed is awesome for baton passing out, getting that momentum. Pure water typing defensively is amazing and has great abilities. Enters out, you're trying to one-shot me, you're gonna have to think twice about that. You're gonna have to think twice. And Unaware is also great to stop like dancers and stuff. And it has it's the ultimate utility user. Like this move pool is amazing. Baton pass and recover are great. Recover helps you just stay on there, just be annoying. Screens are awesome. Memento of course is cool. Soak was toxic, could be a thing. It has the options. It has the options. Like it doesn't have that many moves, but it has plenty of moves to do utility thingies. So Pyukumuku round 5. I had to do it. I had to do it. Just in case someone tried to take it, I had to do it. Round 6, went with another great pivot in Whimsicott. Another pretty unique typing here with the Fairy Grass. That Fairy typing, want to get at least one Fairy type, just because resistance to dark, fighting, and with the Grass typing being resistant to ground and water is pretty nice. It's not that bulky. It's really fast. It's not that bulky, but I think the bulk's okay given its typing. Like it can easily switch into its resist, and it's immune to dragon, which is also good. And not only that, Prankster with all the utility moves it has access to is great. Having access to stuff like Encore, Taunt, Tailwind, Stun Spore. Hell, I could even use Grass Whistle if I really wanted to. 55%. If I'm feeling it, I'm feeling it. But Knockoff's great utility. Leech Seed, Light Screen. U-Turn, of course, is awesome. Trick Room, you never know. Just gets a whole bunch of just great utility moves. And it has good stab. Like Giga Drain and Moonblast, reliable stab. 77 special attack. Not that high, but it's good enough if you just need stab coverage for stuff. So I like it. This is another pivot. So as you see, like my first 3 picks, like 130 special attack, 130 special attack, 130 attack. And then we kind of went more utility, like webs, fast electric type, ultimate utility user, Prankster, Infiltrator, and Chlorophyll are also viable, and just more utility with this as well. Had to go with some power. Had to start picking up the power. The main reason I went with these, because like, I don't think there's anything that does what these things can do utility wise, so I wanted to get these first. There's just a whole bunch of Pokemon that literally just hit hard, so I wanted to save those for later. And I was surprised that this was around round 7. I ended up getting Heracross, another mon that I'm very, very familiar with. And any lower tier, like in the past gens, this was like always on my team. It's so strong. 125 attack backed by Mega Horn and close combat is too much damage. There's a live I did like a couple weeks ago where I Mega Horned a Scizor and it did half. Like, it's too much damage. It's just too much damage. And also the typing is very nice. Being resistant to dark, ground, fighting. Pretty cool typing here. And it's not weak to rocks. And its bulk it's okay. It's decent bulk, 80, 75, 95. Decent speed, 85. And then just monstrous attack. So I think picking this up round 7 is great. Also 2 good abilities in Guts and Moxie. So it can act as a status absorber or just take over a game. It has some couple other moves like Knock Off or Stone Edge or Pursuit. Things like this that may come in handy at some point. Swords Dance, I'm trying to do something like that. I believe it gets Bulk Up. So we have our options. But mainly this thing's just a hard hitter. And it can take a couple of hits, and the typing is cool, which is nice. Next, from one hard hitter to the next, Diggersby Dope, Earthquake hidden below. Ignore this. I know it's in the red. It should be all the way up here. It should be like over here somewhere. Because with that huge power ability, we're doubling the attack. The attack has been doubled. The main reason I picked this is because it has access to spikes and is also a hard hitter, and it's not reliant on webs. Like you're seeing, these hard hitters I'm picking aren't necessarily reliant. Mamoswine, of course, has that Ice Shard and that monstrous HP stat. It can take a couple hits. Heracross, it can take a couple hits, which is very nice. And I mean, this is a viable Scarf user. And also Diggersby has access to quick attack, and it's also another viable Scarf user, having moves like U-turn and stuff. So yeah, Diggersby has access to spikes, has a whole bunch of physical options, and the stab is very nice. Normal ground coverage is pretty good. Has access to knockoff, has access to elemental punches, Iron Head or Iron Tail, U-turn, wild charge. It can do a lot. It can definitely do a lot. And it can also set up, has SD and agility, so it has setup options. Has surf. How much special attack? We got 50 special attack, no problem, no problem. Yeah, it just has a lot of different offensive options. So it's very hard switching into this. Like it's just hard to switch into this. Same thing with Heracross. Like it's hard to, and Mamoswine. Like it's just hard to switch into these Pokemon. So we're going from one furry ass Pokemon to another. Picked up Komala to round 9. So I do have all these hazard options now with the rocks, the spikes, the webs. And I didn't want to have my removal being only defog. So I went with Komala. Just because it's Comatose, it's another status absorber. And also it hits pretty hard. 115 is like, you can't ignore that attack stat. And it has enough SPDF to take a couple hits from that side if I choose to do that. But the main thing is just the utility. Having access to Rapid Spin is great. U-turn is also very nice. Wish could be nice. Sucker Punch, good priority. Yawn, Wood Hammer, good stab, just solid stab if I want to use like Return. Does it get Body Slam? No. It has Bulk Up, I believe. It gets Swords, yeah, it gets Swords Dance. So this thing can do a couple of different things, but the main thing for me picking it is the ability to Rapid Spin and that ability Comatose. So now I have 2 pretty good status absorbers in Komala and Heracross. So now picked the just glue for my team and the Doublade. I don't use this Pokemon. I didn't use Aegislash that often because when I came back in 6th gen, Aegislash was already gone. So I'm not familiar with like this whole line of Pokemon too much. But Steel Ghost typing is ridiculous. Like look at all those resists. Like holy shit. I'm kind of forced to run like one item on this for the most part, an Eviolite, just because it just helps the bulk. I mean, 150 defense standalone is good, but like this def is garbage, and this HP stat is not that high. But 110 attack, it's very usable, and has access to Swords Dance, has access to Shadow Sneak. Gyro Ball with that speed is cool. Pursuit, it's also nice. Sacred Sword is good for coverage. Toxic, can't miss because of no guard, so the blade definitely is like a more glue for the team. Also, the ghost typing is very valuable when I have all these hazard options. So if they have a spinner, they can't get rid of them. Defog, of course, is another story, but at least I can stop spin this way, which is pretty nice. Immune to 3, this is ridiculous. And last but not least, we got Hawlucha, the bird, just fighting bird. It was either going to be this or a Talonflame. The main reason I went with this is because this is less reliant on me getting rid of hazards. And it's still pretty fast and can hit relatively hard. So that was the main reason for picking this, just because of the whole hazard problem with Talonflame. I still think Talonflame's okay. I don't think anyone took it, but just because of the lost Gale Wings, I mean, it's still very fast, so it doesn't really need the priority on its moves if you're just running speed. But then again, that means you're not running HP or something like that. Oh well. But I went with Hawlucha, and I didn't know that it doesn't learn Brave Bird. It doesn't learn Brave Bird. Like, look at him. He's a fighting bird, one of the most bravest birds out there, and he doesn't learn Brave Bird. I didn't know that. I just assumed it did, just based on the sprite and the typing of, like, how does it not learn Brave Bird? This is like one of the most bravest birds in existence, and it just doesn't have access. But whatever. So our flying stab kind of sucks. We're relying on like acrobatics or like flying press, which is both fighting. I believe this got a buff, 100 base now, or like fly or some shit. But yeah, with no item, acrobatics is good enough stab. High jump kick, of course, is great stab, and the fact that it's not weak to rocks, it has 2 cool abilities with Mold Breaker and Unburden. Even Limber could be nice, and the attack stat is passable. It's mainly the speed, and it has also a great utility. I believe it gets U-turn. It gets U-turn. It gets Baton Pass, gets SD, of course. It gets Taunt. It gets Tailwind. So it has a lot of utility as well as being relatively strong. Not as strong as some of these other powers like Diggersby or Mamoswine, but still strong. Encore, but it's fast. That's the main thing, is that it's just fast. And standalone, I think it's a good Pokemon. So yeah, that is going to be the team. I want to just do it in this format just because I feel like I can show you the stats and everything and be simpler this way, because I can just record the browser. But yeah, let me know what you think. Like I said, this is my first league thing. And I believe week 1 we play MB, week 2 we play Chimpact, and then week 3 we play A-Drive. I think it's like that. So that's just 3 strong opponents in my first league thing. So it'll be a true test to see if I'm worthy of being in the GBA. I wouldn't be surprised if it was just an 0-3R out of the bat, honestly. But yeah, let me know what you think about my draft. And itzGator, coach of the Florida Gators, and I'll see you guys next time.